Good morning, Unity Church of Vernon. Good morning, World Wide Web. We're here today as children of light and love. Join us in our song today as we affirm. Stand if you can. I am your temple.
Have a seat, and let's stay in this state of consciousness where each breath is sanctified. And I'd like you to just close your eyes if you'd like and join me in an opening prayer. And in this prayer, let us just connect right here and right now with that Spirit of Christ within us, the light of God that fills each and every part of us, the love of God, which is at our very core, and feel this light and love filling you right here and right now. And as we breathe into this truth, let this light and love move out into this sacred space, this space that is physical, virtual, without any definition. The space in which we know and affirm the truth of our oneness. I am one with God and with each and every living and non-living aspect of this planet, of this universe. And in this place of light and love, let this energy move out now into our community, into our country, especially bringing that sense of peace and harmony into all of these areas that are feeling a separation, a spiritual separation, a sense of anger and frustration that is just pouring out. And we know and affirm that we pay attention to what our inner thoughts are, that we make a commitment to stay non-judgmental, to be able to listen, to be kind and patient, because peace comes from within. And we send this light and love out into our world, especially to those areas that are struggling with violence and all of the beings that are in pain and suffering, knowing that there is no place that God is not, that God is present, that love lifts everything, that love heals, renews, and restores. And we affirm the truth that God is love. And we hold our planet Earth in this light and love of truth. And so it is, amen. Well, good morning, everyone. So good to see you here. And we have a few new faces, which is also very nice to see. Welcome, welcome. You know, I say this often, there are lots of things that we could be doing with our time, right? And for you to choose to join us, we absolutely appreciate it. So we have an absolutely beautiful day, don't we? And yet, sometimes, no matter what is happening out here, it's not always comfortable inside, is it? And the great news is that we get to make a choice. We get to make a choice. And I'm going to just do a quick story that, you know, I'm working on this talk for today, which is about letting go, And I love how life comes in and just gives me an opportunity to just step right into that lesson. Right? Does that ever happen to anybody else? They're working with something, they're reading something, and all of a sudden you get to have that experience. So last night I was doing something and I realized that this payment for this utility, this thing I'm trying to resolve, got charged onto my account again. Same wrong number. Now, I've been dealing with this for months, wrote letters, went in person, and I thought it had finally been resolved, and there it is again. So I felt that instant feeling of I don't know if you can identify, frustration, anger. It's like, I don't even know what to do next. And here I had just been talking and looking at the lesson about letting go. Letting all of these things move through me. So I got to practice that. And what I want to do is just say we're gonna do a little bit of that together today. So I will share with you further how I did this, but I just wanted to say that sometimes I could have walked out this morning with my dog Molly. As you know, I usually do that. I take her for the morning walks. Beautiful day, and just last night I had this little thing that happened, and it kept creeping back in, trying to creep back in to, you know, kind of trigger me again and let me know that, you know, I'm, you know, off balance. And I chose to just walk and enjoy the beautiful morning, and that is what we get to do on a daily basis if we work with these principles, and that's what we're going to explore together today. So I want to welcome everybody that is here, and if you're here for the first time or coming back after some extended length of time, can you raise your hand so we can all see who is new, so we can make a point of welcoming you and meeting you after our service. So now I'm going to turn it over to our platform leader, Nancy.
Good morning, everyone that's here and online. And I think I got this down to the right height. Let's set our intention today by our statement of intent. Together, please. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life and affairs, God the good. And our community voice isn't here. I'm right here. Oh, I didn't. You slipped in right behind me. I sure did. Okay, and you don't look like Clara. Thank you. This is Anne, who's giving our community voice today.
All right. Hello, y'all. Good morning. Okay. So, this book, If Jesus Came to My House, anybody recognize that? Okay, I thought either nobody or everybody knew it. I wasn't sure which. Actually, there's 19 editions of this book. It was written in 1951, and my mom got it from the Methodist Church, and it's really good. It's about a child that imagines what it would be like to spend an afternoon with Jesus. Okay, here we go. If Jesus came to my house and knocked upon the door, I'm sure I'd be more happy than I've ever been before. If Jesus came to my house, I'd like him best to be about the age that I am and about the height of me. I'd run downstairs to meet him, and the door I'd open wide, and I would say to Jesus, "Oh, won't you come inside?" I'd offer him my rocking chair. It's such a comfy seat, and at the pleasant fireplace, he'd warm his little feet. My kitten and my puppy dog would sit beside his chair, and they would be as pleased as I at seeing Jesus there. Then I would put the kettle on to make a cup of tea, and we would be as happy and as friendly as could be. I'd show him all the places that are nicest in the house, the hole behind the stairs where I pretend that I'm a mouse, the little window up here where I can stand and see the people passing down below, and yet they can't see me. And then I think I'd show him the corner in the hall where I'm sometimes rather frightened by the shadows in the wall. I always have to hurry when I'm going past at night, but hand in hand with Jesus, I'd be perfectly all right. I'd show him around the garden and ask him please to bless the seeds that I have planted, the peas and watercress. And if the flowers I'd planted were blooming on that day, I'd pick a bunch of all the best for him to take away. Then while he held the basket, I would gather 2 or 3 of the ripest rosy apples from my special apple tree. And all the little birds would come and twitter up above for joy at seeing Jesus in the garden that they love. And then we'd play with all my toys, my nicest toys, of course, and he should have the longest ride upon my rocking horse. And with my bricks, I'd build for him a palace of his own, and he should be the little king and sit upon the throne. And when we'd done, we'd stack the toys all neatly on the shelf, but first I'd let him choose the best and keep them for himself. And when at last the day was done and shadows crossed the sky, I'd see him to the garden gate, and there we'd say goodbye. And he'd perhaps say, "Thank you for a lovely afternoon." And I would say, "I do so hope you'll come back very soon." And then he'd smile and wave goodbye, and so would end our day, but all the house would seem to smile because he'd been our way. I know the little Jesus can never call on me in the way that I've imagined, like coming into tea, but I can go to his house and kneel and say a prayer, and I can sing and worship him and talk with him in there. And though he may not occupy my cozy rocking chair, a lot of other people would be happy sitting there. And I can make him welcome, and he himself has said, by doing all I would for him, for other folk instead. And though the house is dark at night with shadows on the wall, I never need be frightened when I'm going through the hall. Although I cannot see him, I still can hear him near to understand and hold my hand and drive away my fear. The flowers in my garden, he may not pick himself, but someone else would like them upon his mantel shelf. So if I know of anyone who's old or ill or sad, I'll take them there for Jesus' sake and help to make them glad. I still can share with Jesus the nicest of my toys by lending them or giving them to poorer girls and boys. And though he may not visit me as I wished he would, yet even so, he'll bless my house if I am kind and good. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Anne. That's lovely. How nice. That was great. Now it's time for the AHA Band. Welcome up, guys. We have us today.
Yes, we have Ann sitting in for Peggy this
Oh,
morning.
super. She can sing and do the drums. How about all
It's
right.
the Ann show this morning.
And
so-
Susan's back there behind that piano, and this is great. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to do a Jimmy Buffett song. Yes, he passed away recently, and this was released right after he passed away. I wanted to do one, was like, Margaritaville probably isn't appropriate for Sunday morning, but he got this one on. He got this one right. It's called Bubbles Up, and if you're a diver, then you know what bubbles up means. It's the way you can find your way back. So it goes like this. When this world starts a-reeling from that pressure drop feeling, we're just treading water each day. There's a way to feel better, be well said to weather the storms till the sun shines again. When your compass is spinning and you're lost on the way, like a leaf in the wind, friend, hear me when I say, bubbles up, they will point you towards home. No matter how deep or how far you roam, they will show you the surface, the plot and the purpose. So when the journey gets long, just know that you are loved. There's light up above and joy, there's always enough. Bubbles up. To my friends who are jolly when melancholy knocks, sometimes they let her in to sit and share stories of flops and of glories. It ain't half as bad as the bends. Sometimes living's a struggle, multiplied double. They love it too much for the party to end. Bubbles up, they will point you towards home. No matter how deep or how far you roam, they will show you the surface, the plot and the purpose. So when the journey gets long, just know that you are loved. There's light up above and joy, there's always enough. Bubbles up. Let's pop a cork to the rough and the right, to the bright blazing days and the sweet starry night. Bubbles up, they will point us towards home. No matter how deep or how far we roam, they will show you the surface, the plot and the purpose. So when the journey gets long, just know that you are loved. There's light up above and joy, there's always enough. Bubbles up. Bubbles up. Bubbles up.
Thank you, Greg and the band, and thank you, Anne, for reading for us that beautiful story about inviting Jesus. And the way I heard it was opening our consciousness, right? Opening our consciousness to being with the presence of God within. So, today we're going to be talking about I am here for my awakening. I am here for my awakening. And when I say that, what comes to mind to you? I'm here for my awakening. Well, what do we most want in life? Let's start there. If I said to you, what are the things that are the most important to you in life? What might come to mind? Very good. Family is one answer. Purpose is another answer. Okay, so Pew Review went out and asked that very question. And they said to many, many different people, what is the most important thing to you? And family actually was number one. Family, home, health, money. They didn't say purpose. But to me, that ties in with where we're going, purpose. Because, well, those things that came up as the most important things are actually the very things that we do need in life, right? We have this, what was it, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And in that, those are right up there. We need love, we need comfort and security, we need all of those kind of things. Well, the interesting part of it is these are the things that people are looking for to feel good, to feel happy, to feel free, right? And yet, we know that a lot of times when we are searching for these very things, what happens to us? Do we get maybe like caught up in fear, maybe some frustration? Let's do the family part. What happens if you're with your family and something happens? You lose someone you love. And I know that a lot of us in here have experienced that. You lose someone you love. Or now you're in a situation where you're concerned about the health and welfare of somebody that you love in your family. So yes, family is important, but we respond if we're looking for these outside things to fill us up and give us that constant sense of peace and serenity. So waking up is actually shifting our perspective. Coming to understand and realize that it isn't about those things. It's really about waking up to our divine nature. Waking up to the truth that, yes, we are human and we have those needs. They're very part of our human structure, and that's beautiful. We call that the sacred human, right? Because we are made in the image and likeness of God, and this is how we were designed. We were designed with these emotions, with these feelings. We were designed with a mind that could think and process all these things. So we honor that. But we were also made in the image and likeness of God because we are the child of God. And inherent within us, we have this actual ability to connect with all of the qualities of God so that in those times when we're looking for the love and connection that is so important, or we don't find ourselves in a situation where we're feeling financially secure. My goodness, you read every day, oh my goodness, economic troubles are looming, or, some of us here are a little bit on the older side and we might be trying to plan for retirement, right? And they're giving you these very big numbers. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, some really big numbers to say, you need this to feel safe and secure. Well, how does that make some of us feel if that's not where we are, right? It's like, start to get your heart palpitating a little bit, like, what am I going to do? And these are the fears. So, one of my favorite spiritual teachers, Adyashanti, does anyone else here, are you familiar with him? Well, he is a spiritual author, lecturer, with beautiful ideas that you can see by just listening to this. Transformation does not come from struggle, but from expanding awareness, letting go of struggle without first getting a resolution is the key. So what that tells us is that, we talk all the time about transformation in this Unity Church, right? And the transformation is exactly what we're talking about, taking our perspective and moving it from looking on the outside for the security that we're looking for to make us feel good and safe and happy, and instead opening up to that inner strength, that inner peace, that inner harmony that happens we get there first. We don't have to have the resolution. Just think about that for one moment with me. What if you've got some challenge in your life right now? And I happen to know kind of a lot of you here, and I can tell you that I've talked to you about some of the challenges that I know that you're going through right now. So I know we've got some of you, at least out here, that have some life challenges. What would it feel like if you were able to feel this sense of peace and calmness regardless of this outer circumstance? Wouldn't that feel great? Wouldn't that feel great? What happens if you don't have to focus on the resolution? That the spiritual journey of transformation is what allows us to be able to feel safe and secure, whether we have that number that's being projected out there, or whether or not we have a family member that is struggling with health challenges, or we've lost somebody and we're going through the journey of grief, that we know that even with this heavy sadness, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. And we allow the emotions to come and go. So how do we do this? So we're really talking about letting go. That's what we're really talking about. We're talking about letting go. And a lot of times it's a term that's used all the time, isn't it? Letting go. Let go, let God. But letting go and letting God is not a passive act, and it isn't just saying, okay, here it is, take it away. That sounds good. I would like that sometimes myself. Okay, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I just do it. Okay, take it away. But letting go is actually a practice. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Yes, we can start at that simple place of letting it go, because right there, I'm acknowledging that I don't have to carry this alone. I don't have to hold on to this emotion, this thought, this fear, whatever it is, that I can release it. And then the letting go process begins. And so I wanted to talk about the prodigal son, because this is a perfect demonstration of exactly what letting go tells us. So we all are on this journey of the prodigal son, because what happens with him is he goes to his father and he says, I want everything. I want all my inheritance so I can enjoy life, so I can go out there and have fun and do all these wonderful things. And then we know the story that he ends up squandering his inheritance and ends up suffering in pain. And at one point, he's actually reduced to being on his knees, and he comes to the realization, I need to go home. I need to go back to my father. I need to go home. That is the waking up process. Because a lot of us, in the first part of our life, what are we doing? And again, this is not without judgment. This is kind of just exploring. This is exploring the idea of how we journey through this path of life. So the early part of life is often focused on exactly what this young man, the prodigal son, experienced, right? It's we get the education, we go out and we get the jobs, we have a family. We're doing all of the processes that are out there to have a beautiful life. And sometimes things work out really well, and you can still have a moment where your breath is taken away, where something unforeseen happens. And for other people, that journey can be a little bit more like the prodigal son, in that it's a little rocky. And we make decisions that come from what we perceive as our outer need, right? So unless we do the waking up process, unless we understand what waking up is all about, we will be reacting. We'll be reacting out of a fear. Perhaps we're thinking, family was one of the first things. Love, home. I need somebody in my life. I need to feel loved. I need the companionship. I need to share my life with someone. And all of that, again, from the part of the human need is realistic and beautiful, but it can come sometimes from a very, very needy place, right? Where you're just, trying to find something to fill you up. And so that is the journey of the prodigal son, where he goes out and he's trying to find all of these filling up his senses. And often what happens is we wake up. Sometimes you can have a spiritual experience. You just find yourself, your heart is calling you, because we all have within us this innate desire of God to know God that's within us, because we are made as the child of God. But some of us actually crash down, and we find in that moment of desperation that we are open to God. And so one of the things that we can understand in this letting go process and in this wakening up journey is that he goes home. The son goes home, and what's the first thing the father does is he opens his arms and he embraces him. And he's so happy to have him back. That is for all of us to know, that whenever we are ready to open up, we are filled with truth. We are filled with all of the qualities that are inherent within God. We have them within us, that strength, that inner peace, that wisdom and guidance. That's what we're opening up. We're opening up to the God, the Christ nature that we are. And then we're going to learn how to live from that. And that's what Jesus demonstrated. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Right there, what we're being told is that Jesus always lived from this place of that divine essence within, that higher consciousness. He had let go of the egoic part of his nature. And we saw that is a demonstration when he goes into the wilderness and overcomes the temptations. From that point on, he was able to live in this higher place of consciousness. That's how he did the miracles and the healings. That's how he was able to preach love, of unconditional love, and the awareness of the Father and I are one. The kingdom of heaven is within. And that is the waking up that we're called to do. That, to me, is the purpose. That, to me, is what our purpose here on life is. That's what makes this journey, to me, it's what makes this journey so wonderful. Because otherwise, we have love and we lose love for whatever reason. I know sometimes it stays in our hearts, but sometimes we can feel awful lonely, can't we? All of those kind of things that when we rely on just dealing with our human needs can leave us sometimes feeling not full. And yet, the interesting part of this, which is actually the whole story of transformation, when we talk about how do we live inside out, and when we talk about that, in order to experience love, I have to be love. So the same thing happens in this story. If I understand that I don't have to focus on those needs, that instead if I focus on living connected from my divine essence, that is when I will feel love, family, happiness, all freedom, all of those things, regardless of what's happening in the outside circumstances. So, Michael Singer, and we've been working with his book, and some of you have been joining me on Wednesday nights as we've done a little bit of a deeper dive in this. So, what he talks about with letting go and let be, the only permanent solution to your problems is to go inside and let go of the part of you that seems to have so many problems with reality. Removing blockages is spiritual purification. That is what life is all about. So, what we've really been talking about is we're thinking that reality is all of the things that are happening when we're dealing with, family and life and all of these challenges. And yet what he's saying is, if we understand that this is the spiritual journey to open and to be filled, that letting go is really about tapping into that divine essence within. That letting go liberates us to be free. That it is a process that we let go and we let be. And that's kind of what we're here to talk about today too, is that there is a process that he is offering us, and we're going to explore two of those aspects now. The third one we're going to talk about next week when we talk about acceptance. So the first one that I wanted to talk about with you is how to use a mantra, okay? So in this journey, what he starts with is we've now come to accept. I'm going to just assume this, okay? I'm going to assume that we've come to accept the fact that waking up is what I'm here to do. That waking up is my purpose. It's my purpose because of my divine essence and nature within me. God is calling to know itself. That this journey is here. We're here to wake up. And that all of these life experiences, as important as they seem in that moment, are here to simply catch our attention. They're here to educate us, to release us, to help us to understand God and our relationship with God. And that means our relationship with every single person, right? Because everybody is this expression of God. And that, unfortunately, is what if we understood the oneness and the interconnectedness of life, just think how that might play out differently in everything that we're experiencing in the world today, right? Because there's so much me, you, anger, separation, all of this fear-based essence going on out there. And if we can get to the place where Jesus was talking to us, right? What did he say? Love God and love each other and love each other. We are all this in this oneness. We are all this expression of God. We are all this expression of God. And the only way we can get to that unconditional love that Jesus was talking about, the only way that we can get to this love where we're not full of fear of, I'm going to lose something I want or not get something I need. All of the headlines are just so, I would say almost overwhelming. It just seems out of control. But is that our journey? Is that our journey? I think our journey is to just be awake and aware, to be doing our part of the process, not adding to all of this tension that's already there. And I don't think we can do it unless we are connected spiritually. I can't do it unless I'm connected spiritually. Because I can find myself just too fast, like I said when we were starting the service today, too fast to get triggered, to say, what is wrong with them, right? What is wrong with them? And what does that do? If we try to suppress it, this is how Michael Singer talks about it. He says that if I'm going to let go, and I want to use a mantra, that this is an opportunity for me to start to put into my mind a truth. That's what a mantra is, right? We can use anything we want. We don't have to use an Indian Sanskrit for the mantra. The one I love is God is, I am. And he goes to suggest that we can do it on a breath. So when I do this. So when I've been doing this mantra for a long time now. It's just one I chose. You can do whatever you like. You can pick, it can simply be, I am awake. I am alive and awake, It doesn't have to say God. But for me, I do, as in the breath in, God is, I am. God is, I am. Now what happens with this is, we have in our mind, the mind is made up of all these thoughts and everything, and we get these emotions. So I got triggered, I got upset. And then I start to go into my head with all these thoughts, around how am I ever going to get this solved? What is going on now it's in my bank account, they're taking this money right out of my bank account. So I get into the fear, the anger, all of those kind of things. So if I have been practicing with a mantra, that is where I can go right then. I can just say, okay, because the thoughts can take root, okay? Our thoughts can take root right into those blocked energies, samskaras, those blocked energies, and then it's very hard. So a mantra allows me to breathe. It creates a space between the thoughts and the emotions. A mantra creates a space between the thoughts and the emotions. And meditation is easier to drop into if I start with this mantra, because I'm breathing in and breathing out. God is, I am. God is, I am. I'm focusing on this truth, this affirmation. And so it cuts the energy that's holding me rooted to the anger, the fear, the denial, whatever it is. And it allows me to shift. This is the transformation, to shift into a stillness where I've quieted my thoughts. And that's the whole purpose of meditation. The whole purpose of meditation is not to try to feel something special. Then I'm focusing on outcome. I'm focusing on goals. And what we're talking about here is, in a letting go process, it's really about just releasing my attachment to outcomes, releasing my attachment to how I expected this thing to be. I didn't expect it to be this way, and now, gosh darn it, I'm angry. I'm angry. This is like, and I might be saying it lightly, but boy, I was saying to myself, my husband did all the bills, and he passed away on May 2nd. I have been dealing with this, not only just on the phone. I wrote a letter. I went in person. It's like, come on. Okay, but does that change anything? What am I served holding on to this anger? What is it serving me? What is it serving me? The truth is, I take the action. I can't take the action until Monday, but I will take the action. And in the meantime, God is, I am. God is, I am. And that allows me to open up that divine place within that knows the truth of who I am, that knows peace and harmony in that moment, that allows me to be able to listen to somebody else, that allows me not to bring more frustration and anger, energy out into the world where we don't need any of that. I can continue to be the antidote to what is going on here now. We can be the light and the love of this very essence that we are when we wake up and make that our choice and make that our decision. So meditation is just the stilling of our mind that allows us to hear and tap into the divine nature that we are. It allows us to connect with all of those God attributes. Here in Unity, we refer to them as our 12 powers, right? The power of love, wisdom, strength, release. We have 12 powers, and that's for another time, another talk. But these are the attributes of God: joy, peace, harmony. Those are the things that come up. And just to stay on the vibrational level, all of these emotions of fear, anger, grief, sadness, all of those are lower vibrational energies. Our energy is designed to want to rise, but we are blocking it with these fears and anger and everything else. And the way that it rises is as we take in the next step here, which is the only way out is the witness. Just keep letting go by being aware that you are aware. This is the powerful practice of relaxing and releasing. So, relaxing and releasing. It's actually much more simple than it sounds like. When we get upset and we get triggered, our first instinct, my first instinct, is to fix it, right? I don't know about you, but my first instinct, I go right out here. That's my instinct, If it's a financial problem, okay, what do I need to do? How do I either cut back or how do I step out and find a new situation? If it's about loneliness, what do I need to do? Any of those kind of things. That's my first instinct. And instead, if I'm working with this process of letting go, this is what letting go and let God is. It's not just, okay, it's gone. No, then I do this. I take the action and I remind myself to breathe. God is, I am. Open to that inner guidance. Knowing then that I am in the flow, I am then in the flow. Eric Butterworth says, I'm in the flow of life. I'm not in the flow when those samskaras are blocked. Samskara is just the word, the yogic word for blocked energy that gets blocked in our heart center. And that's what we're releasing and letting go. So that energy, so the witness is to say, okay, and I'll use my example again. Okay, wow, I really got triggered. I got angry. I got frustrated. I got frightened. I got overwhelmed. God is, I am. And as I release and relax into that, the truth becomes clear. I don't think about it. I'm releasing and relaxing. I'm just opening. I'm opening now to the answers that come from within. And that peace that allows me to see clearly. This is being in the flow of life. Then I'm in the flow, so that divine abundance, divine substance. Substance is just another word for what the universe already has within it. All of the ideas, all of the possibilities, that I'm open to these. But I'm not open to these when I'm stuck in my own little journey here. If I can relax, and then I can release, all that happens then is the vibration comes up. And the higher level vibrations, we said the lower ones were, well, the lowest ones are actually apathy, grief. Anger is a little higher up because we have a little more energy with that. And the highest ones are love, peace, joy, enlightenment. And that's natural, it rises up. I just create the space that allows the energy to start to release. That's what that meditation, the mantras, that's what they do. They allow this space. So I become awake and aware of what's moving inside of me, and I pause. I pause and I allow it to leave. And that transforms me because I no longer am struggling with life. And that goes back to what Adyashanti was saying, right? That I release before I have the answer. I release before I have the answer. I was looking for different quotes for this, and I ran across one that I kind of like. I was talking about control, because to me, these are some of the issues that come up with all of this stuff, right, in life. Who likes to be in control of everything? All right? I don't like when things feel out of control. They don't feel safe. They don't feel comfortable, right? When all of a sudden, I mean, that's what I went through after my husband died. It was like, whoa, the rug got pulled out from under me, and I felt like I was in a boat without a rudder and just rocking along out here. It was not very comfortable. And so as I was thinking about this, so the relaxing and the letting go anchors me. It gives me purpose. It gives me a direction. I'm allowed to feel the cry, feel whatever I'm feeling, and have that peace and calmness that I know is the truth, And that carries me forth. That's how the healing process is. And so as I'm reading about this with control, one of the things it said is, it's a little joke, and I'm not a joke teller. So we'll see how this goes. I love to have all my ducks in a row. Okay, I love to have all my ducks in a row. But my ducks are all over the place. I think I've lost some of them, and some of my ducks are actually a pigeon. So that's how life can feel at times, right? Can it? You're trying to keep everything together, and it's like in this process, and that's when I'm focused out here. All of my ducks are all over the place. You know, and I think I lost some, and some might not even be a duck. I think they might even be a pigeon. Well, that's how I was feeling for quite a while. And yet, the counter side of that, the flip side of that, God is, I am. God is, I am. And this is how I awaken. And for this, I am so very grateful. And now what we're going to do is something a little different today. We're going to, before we start our meditation, we're going to do a little chant together, a little mantra. And our band is going to lead us. And then we'll do our meditation. So sing along when Greg gives us the clue.
Things are just too much. I'm holding on so tight. Just wanna relax, give up without a fight. I long to feel that sweet release, so I turn within and pray. Stop, take a breath, relax. Surrender, trust. Say, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it
So I invite you now to close your eyes. Be still and know that I am God. Just sit and relax and get the feeling that all of the strings you have attached to yourself in terms of job, things, people, situations, responsibilities are cut free one by one, like letting go of a balloon. I think of the balloon as my negative thoughts or experiences troubling me, or the dreams and wishes I may be hoping for. I bless them all and envision them ascending and floating away. Letting go, I invite the divine into my awareness. As I release my figurative balloon, I am free from the weight of negativity. I welcome people in situations as they are, not as I think they should be. I also release expectations about what might happen next. I relax and trust my inner guidance to lead me to my good. I lean into my faith for patience as I let go of expectations. There are no limits to God's good. I find comfort in this truth, and I await the best outcome for all. I release my attempts at control. I open the way for the highest and best outcomes. I affirm, I release everything in love. I let it go. As I let love guide my thoughts and actions, I am more fully aligned with the good that is always seeking to be manifest. I let go and trust the right and perfect outcome is already here. Take another deep breath in with me. God is, I am, and so it is. Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be
And now I invite our usher to come up. This is the time where we get to practice the other law, which we call giving and receiving, because we know that as we give, so we receive. And for those of you that are joining us virtually, you too can participate at this point by pressing our donate button on our website or simply mailing a check directly to us. And for those of you that are here with us today, if you take your love offerings out now in your hands, we will bless them. And let's say our love offering together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have and all that I give and receive.
Put a candle in the window, but I feel kind of blue. But I'm going, I'll be coming home soon. As long as I can see the light. Pack my bags and let's get moving. 'Cause I'm bound to drift a while. When I'm gone, you don't have to worry no more. As long as I can see the light. Take it, Greg. I guess I've got that old traveling bone. 'Cause this feeling won't leave me alone. But I won't be losing my way, no, no, no. As long as I can see the light. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Put a candle in the window, but I feel I gotta move. But I'm going, I'll be coming home soon. As long as I can see the light. 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 As long as I can see the light.
Thank you, Susan and the band. That was beautiful. Okay, let's bless our love offerings. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for this beautiful moment where we are able to experience love, abundance of every substance. And we say thank you, God. We are so very blessed. And we know that these love offerings will support our church, Unity Church of Raleigh, in everything that we do, being a sacred place, available to come together in love, fellowship, and support with each other. And for this, we are so very grateful, and so it is. And now we, Nancy, now we have our platform person to tell us what is going on.
So we have a lot of things going on as usual. Our community outreach project this time is we do holiday cards for our veterans. And they're all over there on the tables, and there are pens there, and there are suggested messages. So I hope you'll spend some of your time this morning writing some cards for our veterans. That's a big thing that happens for us every year. We also collect up donations for the food bank in Durham, and you could bring your items here to the church, and we'll see that they get where they need to go. Details for those activities in terms of the kinds of food that we're looking for and things to bring are on our website, unitychurchofraleigh.com. So I hope you'll take a look and see what's going on there. It's also, I almost forgot, it's birthday Sunday. Who has a birthday in November? Anybody? I bet Laura? Okay, there you are back up there. We'll see you. Probably some folks out in our audience, in our Zoom audience do too. So let's sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, November babies. Happy birthday to you.
So join us after the service for some cake and coffee, and we look forward to having conversation with you, and especially our guests. Hope you'll stay with us so we can get to know you. Feel more joy and happiness, deeper meaning in your life. Join Reverend Ellen's Zoom class, Living Untethered, a continuation of the talks she's been giving. That's on Wednesday nights from 7 to 8 o'clock on Zoom, and there's a love offering for that class. On Tuesday, the Heart-Centered Living Discussion Group will continue their journey on the book The Road Less Traveled, led by LUT Pat Anderson. She's here, I know. I saw her a minute ago. So I hope you'll join us for that. There again, you can either come to the church or do it live or do it on Zoom, and there's no charge for that one. For details, again, you can look up at our church website. Our other ministry, Unity Holistic Wellness Center, Saturday, November the 11th from 10 to 12, there's a workshop on sugar. It's not so sweet truth, the not so sweet truth and steps for tuning up your diet, learning how sugar and sweets affect your overall health. This is presented by nutrition counselor and wellness coach Tita Neves. So I think, especially with the holidays coming, awful lot of sugar out there tempting us. I hope you'll learn some lessons before you get in too deep. Want to improve your balance, strength, and flexibility, relieve pain, and boost your energy? Join us for weekly Wednesday class at 10 a.m. with yoga instructor Amy Murray. And weekly Monday morning and evening Tai Chi classes are also continuing. And I think that's all of the different events going on. That for those, you can look up Unity Church, unityholisticwellnesscenter.org for more information on those. So thank you for coming, and we're ready to give it back to you.
Okay. And now it's time for our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us.
The light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
The power of God protects us.
The presence of God watches over us.
The presence of God watches over us.
Wherever we are, God is.
Wherever we are, God is.
And all is well.
And all is well.
sing our peace song.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all agree. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Yes, there is peace, and yes, it begins with me.
And as we go out from here today, I invite you to remember that I am here for my awakening. I am here to connect with that divine essence that I am, releasing my imprisoned splendor, and so it is. Amen. And now let's stay in our circle because we end with a prayer circle. Unity is a prayer ministry, and Unity is a prayer ministry, and we know the power of prayer. And we have a prayer box here, so anybody who has any prayer needs or prayer requests, what you can do is simply email them to the church or call them in. And Melanie, who's back up there running our sound today, she leads our prayer ministry, and she writes absolutely beautiful prayers. So you will then receive this prayer by email, and you will have our prayer team holding that prayer for you through the week. And then it goes on. Here is our prayer box right on that altar table. And our prayers then go on to Silent Unity, where they're again held in prayer for another 30 days. And so we also have prayer chaplains here today. And, well, we have purple stoles. Melanie's wearing her purple stole, and so is Al, if you want to turn around and see our 2 prayer minutes. Oh, and Nancy. Oh, she's got her leopard scarf covering it. I didn't see it. What that simply means, though, is that these are our prayer chaplains, and they have come today prayed up. They're here to, if you have something inside of you that you need to just talk to someone about. And you know what? We're not alone. We kind of covered that in the talk of oneness. We're not alone, and sometimes you just need someone to remind you of the divine idea behind the challenge. And that's what we're going to do together right now by opening up to prayer. So I invite you just to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in with me and be still and know. Know that I am God. God is I am. I am here today for my awakening. And in this moment, I am open to the activity of life, the power of life, which heals, which renews and restores, which enlivens every cell in my body. And I know that this truth of wholeness, mind, body, and spirit, is the truth of life. And so if I know of somebody who is struggling physically, this is my time to know and affirm this for them. I also know that peace be still, that I have the ability to put this presence of peace energy out into the world right here and right now by paying attention to my own thoughts, releasing judgment, releasing anger, allowing myself to be open to compassion and empathy. We know that where 2 or 3 are gathered, there am I. and there is power in the energy of prayer. And we are so grateful to be able to join together to express this truth. God is, I am. And now, if you have anybody that you want to hold in prayer or a situation that you want to have released in prayer, we can say it loud into the circle now or just hold it in your mind. Becky. Hannah. And so it is, amen. Okay. So what we do also do at this time of our service is we stack up the chairs, or we just actually pick up the chairs, we don't stack them anymore, and move them to our tables. And we want to invite those of you that are here today for the first time, please join us for coffee and conversation. Let us say hello and let us get to know you. And so it is.